Well, I'm back. Can't believe it's been how many weeks now? Yeah, it's not been that long. I think I might have to just okay, there we go. That's an acceptable volume. Hello, Galactic Rosebud. Welcome to the stream. Can we get like an eye for which moderators are here today? Any reaction at all? Just say the first word that comes to mind, moderators. Hello, Galactic Rosebud. Welcome. Today we are here. I'll admit I'm still a little bit tired because for the entire weekend. Hey, Yuka, welcome to the stream. I see you on YouTube chat. That's a surprise. You got Uka over there on good old YouTube chat over there. I should probably set up like multiple. If there's like a way I could essentially get multiple like things to happen here. Because right now the chat over here is only reading from Twitch chat, for example. I'm wondering if there is like a tool where it basically like combines everything and it gives it like a little badge. That would be pretty cool. I think I'm locked out of URC. What did you do? What did you do, Uka? I mean, I gotta say this, chat. Honestly, VR Chat's moderation team is so fucking dog shit. That they will literally report anybody. They will literally report anybody just for the most stupidest things ever. Hello there, Changeling47. Welcome to the stream. Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? Oh wait, I thought it was somebody familiar. Thought it was somebody familiar. But hello, welcome to the stream. No, it's just more funny because I know somebody that's technically a changeling, or at least goes around being like a changeling or something like that. They're a voice actor from Canada. You know, it's an oldie. For those who know. But anyways, welcome to the stream. We just started stream actually, and pretty soon I'll be talking about my experience at a convention that I just went to. For those who don't know, who haven't been keeping up in my Discord server, I went to Oz Comic Con. It wasn't like like a big announcement or anything like that. I was like, it's in my area. It was around, and the timing was right. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Change chat. Okay, you're out of YouTube chat. You're now back here. Welcome. I think for music, I have to figure out the music side of things for places like Kick and YouTube, because I think the only place that has like a music track happening in the background is Twitch right now. I'm kind of wondering how to do, the music thing for Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. Because currently right now, the way it's set up, there's no music that's playing, so that means you guys aren't going to hear music right now. But don't worry, I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I always do. So, with that being said, I recently just got back from Oz Comic Con, and that was like a really fun event. I went about 11 in the morning. It was around 11 in the morning when I went. And at that time, I was just, visiting a couple panels, buying some stuff. I got like a huge overhaul of stuff from that convention. There's so much. Oh, I think I figured out who Changeling 47 was. I am so sorry. I literally just figured it out. I am an idiot. Whoops. Anyways, but one of the reasons I attended was, I mean, I know it's you, Doppel. Listen, it took me a bit. It took me a bit. It just took me a bit. But essentially, I hung around for a bit at a couple panels because at one of those panels was like a card shop that recently opened, and they were basically doing VTubing events. They were starting to do VTuber events because there's a couple of Australian people here that are a fan of VTubers, and they were doing like a VTuber meet and greet thing for Oz Comic Con. So I got to say hi to those fellows, and I got to talk to some of the VTubers that were over there. I got to talk to pretty much almost all the cast from Version, Vershhion, and it consisted of Yozora, uh, Gene, Mako, Vividly, Cleo, who also does stuff with Face Connect. But I also got to talk with Gamma and Nana Asteria. And during one of the meet and greets, I would encounter Lunabun. Lunabun was actually someone I encountered during a cafe event that was for Goddess of Victory Nikkei, one of my favorite gacha games of all time right now. And I am pretty excited for, actually speaking of that, I am actually really excited for the new event that's about to come out. They're adding the Archranger as a playable character. And I was like, that is cool. That is cool. But apart from that, I encountered Lunabun over there. And, it was all cool. It was all pretty cool. It was all pretty cool. So, anyways, oh, hold on. I gotta check something real quick. Wait, did I get the name wrong? Oh, wait, I did. Oh, shit. Hold on. Um, I need to fix something real quick. Hold on. All right, I just had to fix something real quick. But anyways, um, I got some. I can at least show some of the photos of my time over there, which I might as well. Oh, excuse me. I am drinking some Mountain Dew right now. Oh, God damn it. I need to clear out my fucking. I seriously need to clean out my download list sometimes. Let's move myself here in the corner. There we go. We are here. So I just want to scroll through real quick for some of these. Uh, actually, Actually, no, I want to change the music. There we go. Sorry about that. Why is Nintendo Direct trending? Anyways, so I got some of the photos over here. Some people actually ended up responding, like Vivi and Yozora. Yozora was pretty cool because Yozora actually came around to my debut back in October of 2020. And at the time at the time she came in, I was experiencing connection issues at that time. Not only that, as I was experiencing those connection issues, she came into the chat, and it was because I had forgotten to install Nier Automata because I was going to play it on stream. But I ended up completely forgetting to do that. And at that time, I decided, okay, I'm just going to go raid someone. That was a shitty debut, I will say. Hey, Z, sorry I was driving when you went live. Hey, it's all good. At least you're here now, Miles. I'm glad you're at least here. But anyways, I literally having to encounter them again. We basically just spoke for a little bit, reminiscing about 2020, and just and it was all like so cool because we're both dinosaurs technically. Me and Yoza are technically kind of like dinosaurs in this case. We were both dead during the VTuber boom in October of 2020. And at that time, we were both just starting out. She's gone a lot further than I have. Like, she's not part of Version. She's getting a lot of, cool opportunities. I know she collabed with Nux at one point. And it's pretty crazy, right? A lot of these people are, doing so well, and then just here I am in the same old place. I'm not knocking it, honestly. I think being in the same place is a testament to, maybe I'm not going to be as popular, maybe I'll just stay humble in my beginnings. But also to note, I hadn't streamed in over 3 to 4 years myself. I only just started streaming again when I, found newfound passion for this. So, she ends up saying, thank you for saying, how is it you know everyone? I honestly don't know. I think I tell people I don't really know a lot of people. I just basically go like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? No problem. And yeah, she's we basically said hi, we reminisced, and it was like, hey, thank you for saying hi. It's always super great meeting some of the fellow old guard. Also, I'm glad she likes my new model. Like this model I'm wearing right here, I'm so happy with it. I can't be more proud of the end result, honestly. And, I even got to talk to Nana Asteria, and she was also cheering me on, because we actually talked a little bit about songwriting. I don't know if I told people this. I have some interest in doing some songwriting again. Because I really do love music. So having the opportunity to write some songs again would be pretty cool. If I was to write music, if I was to do music, I'd probably want to write a lot more originals than doing a lot more covers. Because if I want to do covers, I think what would be really cool is just trying to make each cover my own. I wouldn't want it to sound like, hey, I'm basically just covering this artist and I will make it sound exactly like the artist. No. I think it's a lot more fun when you try to make the cover, when you cover somebody else's song. You want to try and make it in your own style. And I think that would be pretty cool. And that's something I kind of want to do in the future. You even got to talk to Jean Famous. I really love her sci-fi style. And she really loved the helmet that I had on at the convention. Because, again, for those who know, I basically fully deck myself out at these conventions. What the fuck? I was just listening to this song. What, His World? Same mind, same mind. That is what we call same mind. Great minds think alike. But anyways, I got to I got to speak with Gene for a little bit, and that was pretty cool. We actually talked a little bit about Gunplas. I've been on a nostalgia kick for old Sonic music. I mean, who hasn't? And speaking of Sonic, we will get to it. I will get to it. Because there is a lot I want to rant about in regards to that. But anyways, I basically got to talk with Gene, and we basically talked about Gunplas for a little bit. And I did tell them about the existence of a specific Gunpla where Linkin Park actually handled the design for it. They got to work with Bandai Namco to essentially create the Gunpla. And it has Linkin Park motifs on it. And it's a limited edition Gunpla, and I'm pretty sure is out there, and it's probably being sold on other online shopping and things like that. I kind of said this, once I build up experience with, building Gunplas, at some point I would actually want to find that limited edition Gunpla and build it. I think that would be so cool. Current Lincoln or when Chester was alive? When Chester was alive. This was when Chester was alive. Actually, I'll show you a picture of it. I can probably show you a picture of it. Give me a second. See right here. This thing right here. So this right here, this was during the production of 1,000 Suns. This was during the promo for 1,000 Suns, and the band built this particular Gundam together, basically to promote their album 1,000 Suns. And it was also to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Linkin Park. This Gunpla is out there. So at some point, I would like to find one of these, if it's possible, and build it. And the thing is, with Gundams, Linkin Park has a history of liking Gundams. So it makes sense that they would basically have, a really cool opportunity to essentially make something with Bandai Namco. It's entirely possible. And now Gene also knows about its existence. Gene kind of told me at that time that we should chat offline at some point. I'm hoping at some point that would actually be possible. That would be pretty cool to do. I also got to meet Vivi as well. Vivi also part of Version. And funny story, I completely forgot at that meet and greet that I'd already met them during a 3 a.m. meet and greet in VR chat. So I completely forgot about that and didn't even mention that fact to Vivi. A lot of 90s and early 2000s rock bands are massive nerds. That's the kind of shit I live for. Honestly, I miss this shit. The time where we're basically are just super nerds, I miss that. Sucks that many have lost sight of their roots. For sure, for sure. I think one band that actually fits that bill would probably be I'm trying to think of the band. There was a certain band that I know fits that bill. Oh, there is a couple. Theory of a Dead Man is one of them. There's also Green Day. Yep, that's another one. After American Idiot, they were just never the same. think refused also counts under that bill, though from what I heard, they've recently disbanded. And it sucks too because I love American Idiot. You could say that they became the American Idiot. No, they truly did. No, they truly did. They truly are the American Idiot. Mudvayne in some ways also did kind of lose their roots, but they are recently, trying to come back to it. Slipknot definitely lost their roots. In some ways, they really did. But that's also kind of because they But that's also kind of because they became a lot more as a business rather than as a band. They also never really recovered ever since Paul Gray and Joey Jordison were no longer there. Even though I listened to even though some of the new stuff that they put out is good, it still doesn't have the same impact that a lot of the earlier albums did. But anyways, in regards to VV, I completely forgot we had already met in VR chat, so we kind of just talked to each other like as if it's our first time, completely by accident. But the thing is, she does know now how we originally met. And funny enough, when she first saw me, I had taken off my mask because one of the things that happens is that they had these like headsets on, these those like gaming headsets or whatever. Unfortunately, with the setup that I had, it was going to be impossible to have the mask on and use the headphones. So unfortunately, I had to take the mask off. But thankfully, I had like a mask beneath because I can't wear the mask without the balaclava or whatever, right? So I had something else on underneath the mask, and basically the only thing they could see was my glasses. And the first thing Vivi said was, "Glasses!" It took me so off guard. Like, I was just so surprised by just her suddenly going, "Glasses!" Modern rock slash punk is a bunch of 40, 50-year-olds who think they're still fighting their boomer Christian grandparents, not realizing they're attacking the great grandkids of those very same boomers. I hate that you are not wrong about that. I absolutely hate that you are not wrong about that. That does disappoint me quite a bit, honestly. But anyways, one of the first things she shouted out was glasses and all that. But then after that, we kind of just talked a little bit more, and it was a really good time. And then she ended up saying, "Thank you so much for coming to see me. Sorry for immediately shouting glasses, but they were just really nice glasses. I swear." I mean, look at them. I mean, I can definitely understand. I had like a certain pair of glasses that were from South Korea. They are pretty cool. They are pretty cool. So I kind of, but to be honest, I wasn't like super offended or anything like that. So she really didn't need to apologize. I was like, "Oh no, it's all cool. It's an interaction. I'll definitely remember. I'll continue wearing the nice glasses then." But yes, people know I wear glasses. Now do you see why these goggles make so much sense? These are my glasses. That could be a cool in-lore explanation, right? Anyways, we have a couple more. There's Mako over there. Also, I have Mako standee. I would post a picture of it. It's still behind some bubble foam. It's still behind some bubble room, but I have Mako standee, which is pretty cool. And the thing is, I didn't buy it. I technically won this for a raffle because the company was doing like some raffles to win like a sticker or a keychain or even a standee. You could even win a desk mat if possible. And I managed in one of the roles to get a standee. And it was a standee of Mako, which is pretty cool. So when me and Mako basically spoke, we just basically chatted about the Australian internet. Seriously, it sucks. You think with a country that basically invented the Wi-Fi, you think it would actually be good. You think it would actually be good. Nope. You were mistaken. And we both have to suffer through it, unfortunately. And then, the interaction ended, and, it was pretty cool meeting them. And after that, after meeting Mako, was Cleo. Me and Cleo just gushed over Australian VTubers. I say gushed, but we didn't literally. But it was just like, hey, it's so cool that, a lot of Australian VTubers are being recognized. And right now she's in Face Connect. She is working with Face Connect and she's getting a lot of cool opportunities with them. I love that. And we were just basically talking about how a lot of Australian VTubers are getting recognized, are getting really good opportunities. I think it goes to show there is definitely a market for VTubers in Australia. And considering how quickly Cleo's meet and greet tickets were sold out, I think it's a test. I think it is absolutely clear. It is absolutely clear that it makes sense that, in Australia specifically, Cleo's events would be sold out because, there's a lot of fans of hers. Then after that, I got to catch up with Gamma. Gamma's technically another oldie. We had already met each other a bunch of times in VR chat. And so after that, we basically now caught up in, here. And it was also cool. We were just caught up. And apparently she still remembers. Did you get to meet Chromu? She's also Aussie. I did not. I wish I could have met her. She seemed so cool. I wish I could. She seemed so cool. At some point, I would really love to meet Chromu. She sounds like a genuinely sweet person. I don't think for this particular convention she was there. But, there could be a future where she could actually be in, future Australian conventions. Who knows? But anyways, we got to basically, catch up, shoot the shit, and it was pretty cool. And then at the end, I had to wait to see if it would, what she thought of this, but I also ended up meeting somebody by the name of Luna Bun, and she was actually someone I had met outside of conventions by complete accident. where what happened was I attended a cafe pop-up event, which was about Nikkei. And it was the first ever Nikkei event in Australia. And people thought it was going to be, moderately successful. It went way too successful. Because of that, there's now so many people already talking about having more Nikkei events in Australia, particularly in events like PAX and things like that. So there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more events related to Nikkei. And I'm super glad about that. Especially since at this convention, we managed to get a bunch more Nikkei merch, which I'm so happy about. But anyways, I got to meet Luna Bun over there. We kind of caught up for a little bit. And I was in her chat recently. She mentioned she was going to Oz Comic Con. And, we evidently encountered each other at the same panel because she was also meeting a few VTubers over there as well, like Vivi and Cleo, I think. So she got to see both of them. There's a lot of weebs in Australia. I guess there's nothing to do since everything wants to kill you. Misconception! Not everything out there is going to kill you. Guys, stop paying attention to the rumors. But I mean, there's also some truth to that. But again, stop paying attention to the rumors. Stop it. I'm fine. We're fine. So, anyways, I think we've gotten most of the feel-goodsy stuff out. Because there's a couple of there's a couple things I actually want to react to. And one of those is where, as I came back from Oz Comic Con, I was checking my socials one day. Actually, no, hold on. Let me slow down. I should also mention, guys, Persona 6 is coming out. Persona 6 is coming out. I was not expecting that. When I saw the announcement, I was like, what? Another one? How long has it been? And then I kind of just double checked when Persona 5 came out, and I was like, okay, wow, it actually has been a long time. They also did announce, visuals for like a Persona 4 remake, which, that's cool. And there was also the stuff that was basically announced at Summer Games Fest. There's now basically... So we're kind of going in the right direction. So, some good stuff is coming out. What is it exactly? Oh, we have Tifa coming in Street Fighter 6. We've got a Godzilla crossover in Sonic Racing World. Sonic Racing. Also an Evangelion. A fucking Evangelion event in Sonic Racing. Which what? And finally, the big elephant in the room, the Stellar Blade sequel. The Stellar Blade sequel is finally here. And I am ready for it. In fact, I technically haven't reacted to the Stellar Blade trailer. Let's quickly look over it right now. Because some people were losing their minds in regards to the sequel. Yes, I know I'm using IGN. Deal with it. Alright, so you know what? We're gonna react to this for the first time because I haven't seen any trailers up to that point. I know it's already out, but I kind of want to see what we'll be encountering here.
지금 넥서스 섹터 방향으로 가는 외선 순환列車가 들어오고 있습니다.
The outer circle line train bound for Nexus sector is now arriving. Please wait for everyone to exit before boarding.
Evie? Evie? Evie?
I'm listening.
The Scarlet Sin. That's the beginning and end of it all. How about you try taking a hit?
You're acting a little strange today.
Oh, yeah? It's our first mission in a while. Aren't you a little excited?
Stop saying weird things.
Okay, take it easy.
Quiet. They're moving.
Initiating C3 sync. Ready, Angel.
Roger, Kenna. Tracking.
출입문 닫습니다.
Doors closing.
How's it looking out there?
I can't stand
Some
it.
gameplay footage.
It'd be better for both of us if we got out of here quickly.
In the movies, this is always where things go wrong.
Hey,
Well, just saying. It's a cliche. Wait, the target stopped.
Hearken! The pulse rain shall cease!
Whoa!
In the name of the Father!
Whoa! We just saw some Akira shit. Whoa. I will say I technically like the idea of having a character, especially in a game like Stellar Blade, where it's less about, hack and slash swords. And because this one, Evie, is actually using a lot more melee combat. So there's a lot more punching, a lot more kicking, probably with some power-ups, but too. I'm actually kind of preferential to this particular type of combat than, the usual hack and slash. Now, that's not to say, hack and slash is bad in any way, but this kind of combat style is actually a lot more interesting than, your typical hack and slash kind of video game. Though there is also that. There is, the use, because I should probably play that frame again. That one was a lot more Mortal Kombat. And then having that, so, a blade essentially coming out of the gauntlet that she's using, that also works pretty well. It does make him stand out a lot more from Eve. So cool. That is actually so cool. That is so cool. And I am actually genuinely excited about that. At some point, I will actually have to get Stellar Blade so I can basically play through that so that I'd be in time for Blood Rain when that eventually comes out. Loki thought this was another Assassin's Creed game. To be honest, I don't think there are many Assassin's Creed games that are set in the future. If there was actually an Assassin's Creed game that's actually set in the future, that'd be pretty cool. There's some other ones that I missed. I'm actually really excited for the expansion of Monster Hunter Wilds. They announced Lao Shanlong. That's actually pretty cool. I did hear there's some DLC stuff coming out for Monster Hunter Wilds as well. And I actually had to get back into practice playing Monster Hunter Wilds because I have the game, but I have not been playing it as much as I used to. Because when I used to play the game, it was actually with a friend group. And then when I essentially split myself from that friend group, my, interest in playing the game eventually stopped. But at some point, I actually would love to play the game again. We also did announce Pal World 1.0, but there is a little bit of a controversy with that. My roommate popped off on this because they love the boxing archetype in video games. This kind of combat style, is actually pretty engaging compared to, your usual hack and slash. But then again, with hack and slash, I also like it the same. But if I had to choose between which style of combat I prefer more, I would go with the boxing style. I would personally go with the boxing style. It also makes sense for the setting. First, Stellar Blade occurs in much more open fields. This one looks to me in more close quarters. Hard to wield a weapon indoors. That is also true, too. It makes sense given the setting as well. So I actually kind of like that they went in this particular direction. They also announced a new Resident Evil game as well. They finally finished the Final Fantasy VII Trilogy remake, which I'm like, about time. How is it that we're getting the complete Final Fantasy VII remake trilogy before Kingdom Hearts 4? I remember somebody making that joke, and I was like, oh my god, you are so not wrong. I could help you out from time to time with Wilds. I'm in endgame, so I'm just waiting. I already finished the game. But I haven't, gone back to basically, build resources and things like that. Or even, tried something like taking on the final boss by myself. Or anything like that. But I actually would want to go back to it. I'd like to reinstall the game at some point. There's a new announcement for Gears of War E-Day. Fair warning, I main Gunlance, so when the kaboom goes off, if you're in the way, that's your fault. I used to use Gunlance, and then I kind of switched to using Sword and Shield, with my secondary being the Insect Glaver. Oh gosh, should we talk about that? But apparently, people had such a problem with with Eevee. I didn't understand why people had such a problem with Eevee. Charge Blade for me. Isn't Charge Blade much hard? Isn't Charge Blade just much harder, honestly? My progression with Monster Hunter Wilds is that it started with the light and heavy bowgun. Then I went to Gunlance. Then I went to Sword and Shield, with my Gunlance being the secondary. And then I phased out of Gunlance to having an Insect Glaver as my secondary. So anyways, actually, can we react to that, right? But yeah, I didn't understand why people had so much of an issue with Eevee. I was seeing around Twitter that people were saying, "Oh, she looks a lot more young. She looks a lot more like a child," and things like that. And I'm like, guys, are you seriously gonna look at every young Asian? Every Asian woman will look relatively young, even in their fucking 30s. Good God. Fouls can confirm. To be fair, Fouls, I haven't seen you. But the honest truth is I would believe it. Charge Blade is just going up next to the monster and pressing buttons while looking at your gauges. It's not as hard as it looks. Oh, okay. I haven't used Charge Blade that much. I think Kim actually uses Charge Blade, if I'm not mistaken. To be honest, with the amount of people in my server that play Monster Hunter Wilds, I will actually consider making my own server, my own group, and then basically have like some people be able to join that. And then I could probably log on and just, play that for a couple hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours. If I'm not doing anything, people can join in, come and go to do their missions with me and things like that. I think we could actually make that work. But yeah, The fact is, I still hate that people think of this as young. Even Asmongold would go as far as to basically, kind of say the same thing that most of the, antis are essentially saying. And he ended up catching some heat for that, which is kind of really, really funny to see. Also, I hate that we're shouting this out. We have a rare tech W. I hate this. So much. Because the full model for Eevee was leaked as well. And she looks okay. She actually looks normal here. And again, I know somebody that's around the same height as Eevee. Has the same physique as Eevee, has the same height as Eevee. You stare at this and think, oh, it's a child. What's wrong with you? I believe the only reason why Tecton is saying that is because his fiance kind of looks like her. I did see that as well. I thought that was really, really funny coming from Tecton. This is funny from Tecton only because of what he's called out before. Again, do you want me to? I'll pull up the clip. I will pull up the clip to basically showcase his hypocrisy. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Yep, this one right here. She may be an android, but I'm impregnating her. God damn it, you guys. But anyways, again, this is ironic that this particular post comes from Tecton because of what he's called out before.
Yeah, you mean the one who had a Discord with people sharing real CP in it? Yeah, I do. Fuck that piece of shit.
Bro is doing a Genshin Impact's most breedable character tier list and let me just go ahead and show you, puts Nahida, Flea, and Diona in S tier. Not only is a channel made by a pedophile, It is a channel that caters to pedophiles.
Calm down, son. It's just a drawing, not the real thing.
I would play for. Actually, I'll play it further.
It's just a drawing, not the real thing.
I love that ending, but essentially, he has reacted to. He has actually thirsted over fictional characters that are relatively young looking. He's gushed over Robin from HSR. He's liked art that was from like a prominent artist. And look, there's Blue Archive. There's Blue Archive right here. And then eventually, and when called out for it, he essentially goes, unfollowed everyone because my ego's enormous. Bruh. You got caught. Stop trying to feign ignorance. This is kind of why I'm a little bit peeved that Twitter decided to take away likes. I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's kind of really stupid that they would take away something like that. But what can you do? But like I said, this is somebody that's known to be a fucking stupid hypocrite. And the thing is, he's never really changed that about himself. Unironically, he probably would have agreed with Aspen if not for his current fiance. Oh my god, he so would have. Again, this is so ironic that this is coming from him. So ironic. Because of what he's called out before. Man. But again, it's more funny that people are essentially calling out, people that are saying, guys, this is fine. You guys are overreacting. Oh. Okay, I know what I'm reacting to next, but I'd probably just get through this real quick. But essentially, there's this post by Pirate Nation, but it says the following. I'll zoom in right here just for you, everyone. The Stellar Blade drama continues. Asmongold is facing huge backlash from the community after doubling down on his stance against lolly characters in anime and hentai. It started when AI Emerald Apple posted studies showing no proven link. They're calling Eve a child. They're calling Evie a child. Evie, there's apparently a connection between Eve and Evie. They're just not going to reveal it yet until the actual game comes out, which I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do with that. And apparently the creators of Stellar Blade, Shift Up, they're taking notes from what they've learned from the events that they put out in Goddess of Victory Nikkei to see what, makes a really good, captivating character and story. So this sequel could actually be really good. Like, it end up surpassing the original Stellar Blade. There's huge potential for it, which I'm really excited about. It started when AI Emerald Apple posted studies showing no proven link between fictional animated content and real child abuse. Asmongold asked for the data and criticized the Danish report. What was the sample size of their research? When the poster explained it was a review of existing literature with no direct causal link found, Asmongold said the sample size was 0 because it wasn't a study or research. They literally just asked experts and concluded there was no connection because no direct research on the topic was done. He also pushed on the 2008 study asking were the images shown to the subjects real girls or anime lollies. He later doubled down. Yes, that's exactly the leap I'm making. Lollies look like children, so people attracted to lollies would on average be more likely to be attracted to real children than someone who is not. Obviously, as shown in my chart, it's not a one-to-one correlation, just a trend. He stands firm that the content is harmful and blurs lines with pedophilia. This is so funny coming from Asmongold because he supported people like Shondo. There was like a clip where, I'm trying to remember, there was a clip which had Shondo in it, and she said something specific, And Asmongold was like, she's right. She's right. I may find that, slightly concerning, but she is right. Like, what's that? Like, what is that, Asmund? What changed? And this is why people are calling his ass out. Now, the one thing I know that's going to happen is that he's not going to change his mind. I will give it this, at least he's consistent. According to my roommates, DK is wrapping up the prologue at nearly 50 chapters. It's pretty much almost wrapped up. They've pretty much gotten past the prologue. We're now up at about chapter 40. It was chapter 44. I believe it was chapter 44. Because we had just gotten all 3 counters upgraded. And everything's now basically set up for, finally, the 3rd generation of Nikkei's fighting against the Queen. And, Dorothy essentially went through her redemption arc, and the arc is essentially on its way to dying. Spoilers for those who haven't played Goddess of Victory Nikkei or have reached this point, just letting you know. But that's the current plot details as of right now. I am really interested in seeing where they go with this. They've also just finished the 3.5 anniversary event, which is detailing the backstory for Anise. Honest to God, bro, that actually made me cry. That genuinely made me cry. And to be honest, I can confidently say that Anise is my number 1 favorite Nikkei of all time. I have no problem saying that. Out of all the Nikkei characters that are in this game, Anise is my favorite. Hold on, I'll show you. This one right here. Hold on. Like this character right here. This character. This is my number 1 favorite Nikkei. And I have no problem saying that whatsoever. I am happy to say that this is my number 1 favorite. She is my spirit animal. Okay, enough simping. But anyways, I am kind of glad that Shift Up is going in this new direction with Stellar Blade. This has huge potential to basically outshining what Stellar Blade was already able to accomplish. So I'm really excited to see where this could potentially go from here. She looks like a grown woman, WTF. Exactly! Also, it was revealed that the actress who plays Eevee here, she's 34 years old. This lady is 34 years old. Guys, what are we doing here? And I can't believe we had to keep having this argument over and over and over and over again. At some point, it just gets tiring. Now, actually, in my Discord DMs, Kakashi, I believe, is watching the stream. Which, hello, Kakashi. I haven't pulled up any ReZero stuff, thankfully. But he's given me a link to react to. So I actually did not even know there's some new stuff with Halo. Let's check this out.
You've heard the story. Halo, the Chief.
Yes, you've heard the story.
Legends. But that's not the story I'm telling today. This one, you haven't heard.
1 year
I've
before the
started
ring.
simple enough. Drop in, grab the goods, get out before anyone noticed. Well, guess what? They noticed.
Wow.
Now you ready to get to it?
Why the fuck does that look like Steve Harvey? Does anybody notice that? Hold on. Going back a frame. Does that look like Steve Harvey to you? This looks like Steve Harvey. Tell me I'm wrong. Literally tell me I'm wrong. This looks like Steve Harvey. Young Steve Harvey, right? This looks like God.
Now you ready to get to it?
Yes, let's go play Family Feud.
You serve long enough, you learn to read a battlefield. This place,
Wait, so are we playing as young Steve Harvey here?
more of a freak show. And trust me, I know freaky.
Have you enjoyed your stay so far, Demon?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're on the clock.
God damn the cheesy one-liners, man.
The thing with simple jobs is, they always get complicated.
That's a pretty interesting match.
Odds get worse. My advice, bring a Spartan.
3 all-new missions. I will say the graphics here actually look... These graphics actually look pretty cool. I'm actually surprised. There's the Warthog. Halo campaign evolved.
Chief, you ever get tired of being the strong, almost silent type? No.
No. And that's next month. And that is next month. Is this a class-based shooter for Halo? I think so. Hold on. I want to analyze something real quick. There was a couple spots where it looks like we're playing as other characters. Like this frame right here. Right here, there is definitely a frame where we're basically playing as this young Steve Harvey guy here. I think there was even a point where we were even playing as the alien.
The thing with simple jobs is, they always get complicated.
Yeah, right here. So we're definitely playing as different classes. Now the tagline, 3 all-new missions. And then... There's 3 all-new missions, which involves space... The legendary campaign evolved. So this is supposed to be a reboot? Like, I'm sure during parts of these, we are actually going to be playing as Master Chief. I don't think there's a moment where we are going to be not playing as Master Chief. Pretty cool. It says Halo Campaign Evolved. So it's supposed to be a remake. Oh, actually, Doppel's not wrong. In some ways. Before the events of Halo Combat Evolved, the Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson take part in Operation Meteorite, in which they infiltrate a mysterious Covenant ship on a clandestine assignment. Experience the fight behind enemy lines in the form of 3 all-new bonus missions included in Halo Campaign Evolved. And this game is coming to Xbox and PlayStation 5 and PC on July 28th. And it's also taking place a year before The Ring. Man, 2001? That was so long ago. That is wild. Also, I did not even realize there was a remake of Halo Campaign Evolved happening. Okay, raise your hand if you feel old. In the chat, everybody raise your hand if you're feeling old. I know I am. I know I absolutely am. My God. Actually, since we're at it, I want to react to the new announcement from Monster Hunter Wilds. It was this one. I hadn't reacted to the trailer for this yet. So let's quickly react to it. Looks cool, looks cool. Ooh.
Wyveria negated the weight of buildings and mounted the sky.
I will say I'm more used to the Japanese dub.
I can't stop wondering, how can all this exist up amongst the clouds?
Whoa! Wait a minute. Did I miss any new weapons?
They can affect the environment with just their presence. A moving natural disaster.
Too powerful to tame. Too difficult to reproduce. Sounds like an elder dragon.
Looks like they're bringing back Wyvern pods. And this is for next year. A massive expansion. Well, shit. Alright, guys. Fine. I'll make a new server for Monster Hunter Wilds. Fuck. Lao Shang Long was huge because that was an endgame monster from Gen Ult. That's from the old Monster Hunter series, isn't it? Jesus fucking Christ, there is some good shit coming out. Also, another announcement is that the Cyberpunk Edge Runners collab with Wuwa is happening on September. So that actually gives me plenty of time to basically maybe catch up. I might play some Wuwa just because of that. I'm unsure. I haven't really played Wuwa up until this point. But the one thing I heard about Wuwa is that it's trying to be a better Genshin Impact, which is not a hard bar to basically surpass. Don't say it's an old Monster Hunter. That game came out with the first year of Switch. For real? I mean, why can't exactly, wait. Okay. Not to be offensive. Why is it I can't say that it's from old Monster Hunter? Because isn't it that we're basically dealing with two different eras? Why would saying that be considered offensive? Because I know there was a huge gen switch that happened when I think it was Worlds It was Worlds first, then Rise, then Wilds. When Worlds first came out, this was kind of the sign that Monster Hunter was going to go through like a new gen switch. Oh, because I don't want to be reminded that the Switch is nearly a decade old. Why did you have to say that? Why the fuck did you have to say that, Mild? God damn it! Oh my god, I hate everything. We are getting old, guys. We can only get old so much. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, man? Why are we here? Why are we still here? Gen Alt does use the old PS2 engine rather than the new RE engine. Phantasy Star? That's Phantasy Star 2, right? Before Phantasy Star Online 2? I think. If there's one thing that a PlayStation 2... Actually, yeah, you know what? That actually makes sense. Speaking of RE, let's have a look at this. Actually, hold on, guys. Give me a second. I'll just be right back. Give me a second. I'll just be right back. I have to go. I have to take care of something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, sorry, guys. Just needed to take care of something real quick. Monster Hunter hadn't changed its graphic engine since PlayStation 2. Wait, it hasn't? But hold on, when you say that it hadn't changed its graphic engine since PS2, but even though the newest one is using the RE engine, I get it. Not until World. Wait, so they've been using the same engine for years. Then eventually they stopped doing it when Worlds eventually dropped. Wow. It took them a long time. It took them such a long time to adapt. That is wild. Wild. Go me, making puns. Accidentally. But anyways, there's a couple more trailers we have to react to. Alright, let's check out Resident Evil Veronica. Okay. I will be honest. The only Resident Evil games I've played up to this point is between the first three, the first trilogy, but I don't think I've played past 4. Because I know I hadn't played 4, 5, 6, 7 or anything like that. I usually watch other people playing the game. So that's my knowledge of the series, but the only ones I'd played up to that point was the first 3.
Oui? Qui est-ce? So, you're the American who called earlier. The sister of the man on the 3rd floor. Ah, welcome to Paris. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh, she looks terrifying.
Ugh, it's freezing. Come in. Come in. We don't want you to catch a cold. I hate
According to my roommate, the original RE Veronica was once one of the hardest. Like, it's actually legitimately hard, huh?
it, but your brother is, well, quite odd. In we go.
Lady, that smile is terrifying. And I know I should be terrifying. Ugh, what a pigsty.
Oh là là. Mais quelle pagaille. He's made such a mess again. Think, I just cleaned it up a week ago. It's like a boulder rolled through here. Huh? Ah, the delightful biscuit. I'm sure he won't notice if we help ourselves. Oh, I'm so sorry. It must be the maintenance man from this morning. Won't be long. I'll bring some nice coffee to go with the biscuit.
Okay, it's not that bad. I've seen way worse. I mean, in terms of messes, yes. At the same time, I can at least say what it is. This is the Marquis. Okay, I'm assuming it takes place in France. Oh. Was the door closed before? I don't think it was closed before.
Don't move. Claire Redfield.
Wait, this is Claire? Whoa. Okay. Not bad. Actually, not bad. I don't know much about the original Resident Evil Veronica, but I actually had no idea this explores Claire Redfield's character. That is pretty cool. Let's see what some of the comments are saying. It's like a Boulder world through here. I see what you're doing, Capcom. Wait, is that based on a meme? I think it might be based on a meme. We can finally see a young Chris Redfield in RE Engine. You'll need to watch this before Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. I'll think about it. I'll see. I might see if I actually might play that. It could be interesting. Though I'm unsure if I should probably play the original before playing the remake. That's kind of also the issues I have a lot of times with the remakes as well. Because a lot of times when it comes to remakes, wouldn't it make more sense to play the originals first before playing the remakes? Oh yeah. Actually, that just reminds me. There is going to be a new Melty Blood game coming out pretty soon. For those who don't know, there has been a new announcement that we are going to be getting a new Melty Blood game. Which is pretty surprising because one of the last Melty Blood games I played, I was basically, practicing my chops in Type Lumina. Now I'm basically hearing that there's going to be a new Melty Blood game coming out. And there's going to be information about it that's going to be held at August 2nd. So I'm definitely going to be waiting around for that. I'm ready to see what they're going to do with this particular game. And another game I definitely want to showcase. Now I have to ask a question. Who in this chat knows about Virtua Fighter? If it's not many people here that know about Virtua Fighter, I do not blame you. Virtua Fighter was an old Sega title that was released on the arcade. I actually got to play the arcade version of this as well. There is actually an arcade version of one of the Virtua Fighter installments in my area. So I got to play that. But my first exposure to Virtua Fighter was on the classic Sega bundles. And it was one of the older titles, and it was really, really fun. They would come out with Virtua Fighter 5, which was one of the last known Virtua Fighter games, and I think it was for like the PlayStation Vita. So, apparently recently, there has been a new Virtua Fighter announcement. And I have not seen this until now, and I really want to see what this is going to look like.
Talking about your ex? Hey, I've got an idea for you.
Hey, it's Yellow. Bet you're hungry after this morning, huh? Same as usual?
This looks like Vietnam, actually.
You're taking this whole job thing seriously, huh, Divina?
I know.
Oh, who's this?
Kidding about this being a fighting town.
We're all fuck-ups. Otherwise, we wouldn't be living in Villa Sapara.
Villa Sapara.
Kill them all. Hey, it's me.
There he is!
Shit. This is not gonna blow over, Cielo. You fucked with the Chinese mafia.
Wait, so we're dealing with the Chinese mafia here?
One more
move and I'll cut her fucking head off!
All right, just take it easy.
That's your...
Madam Sue? You play the part of a fighter, but you are lacking in kung fu.
Rise over the cries, city of blood, sweat, and survivors. Lives rolling like dice. Once you're inside, there's no surrender.
That's Pai Chan!
Who's Pai Chan?
What?
I mean, that's my question. There's a showcase also happening. Oh, that's technically that was technically yesterday, so I did miss that. Oh, that's 6 in the title? Nice. That 6 in the title is nice. Wait, what? There's a 6 in the title?
Once you're inside.
Oh, I see. That's actually clever. That's actually clever. That's actually really clever logo design. But no, that's actually pretty cool. But it looks like they're going in a completely new direction with this particular Virtua Fighter. That is actually pretty interesting. Honestly, I was not expecting this. I was not expecting Virtua Fighter to actually come back. And it's kind of like they're going full on with like a story mode for Virtua Fighter, not just having it be like a pure fighter with all of the old characters coming back. Though we also mainly got a look at the newer what looks like newer characters in this. I don't think we've basically seen any of the older characters, except for maybe Pai. Also, since we did talk about Virtua Fighter for a bit, I gotta pull up this clip again. I had to bring that back. I had to bring that back. Oh man. Alright, I think we've kind of gone through the low cortisol stuff long enough. I think I want to dive into something that I've seen on Twitter that actually does grind my gears. And since we did talk about a Sega for a little bit, I think we can go through this without going a bit too emotional, because there is a lot I want to say about it. And it was this one, where it was during the time I was at the convention, so there wasn't much I could say about it at the moment. But essentially, Miyatsu, who is particularly known as like a Sonic creator in the VTubing space, she recently had managed to join in June 6th, being a part of the Sega Creator Zone, which was pretty cool. But then what did you expect happened? Unfortunately, people in the Sega fandom essentially bitched and complained. And they decided to band together to mass target Sega, to get them to drop Mia. And what you really expect to happen, because Sega primarily has a left-leaning fan base, because they've been super supportive of the leftist ideology stuff, like LGBTQ and things like that. They've dropped Miyatsu after a day of being part of the Sega Creator Zone. And they've essentially dropped her from being a creator due to, quote-unquote, an additional... There was... Technically, this decision was made for the following reason, and it says, following an additional review of program eligibility and community safety standards. It's more because Sonic cultivated a punk following. It's kind of like what sort of happened with, it's kind of sort of what happened when Green Day, had its own punk following. Coming off the cusp of Gilman Street before, becoming super successful. And also because Sonic particularly lends itself more towards having, those, especially recent Sonic, like, after Sonic Adventure, it has, Crush 40 going, Escape from the City, and all these, like, really punky, like, songs from that era. That particular style has never really left. So, essentially, Mia was dropped from the Sega Creator Zone following, a massive targeted campaign by Sonic fans. I should say Sonic cultists, but at the end of the day, they are Sonic fans who already have so many other issues on their plate, but decided that it would be best to go after someone that basically only said, listen, I don't agree with the current LGBTQ ideology. If you choose to transition, that is your right. Give me a second. Sorry. I just had to sneeze real quick. But anyways, because of people being so hateful, I've been removed. Like I mentioned in my streams, I accept anyone if we have different opinions, but I guess people only like to mention how much of a quote-unquote bad person I am. Thanks, guys. Don't even know who I am and just want to show hatred. This is considering the fact that people who haven't really been to Mia Su's streams are only willing to look at what she said, and basically they have such a problem with it without even asking, why is it that she has such a problem with it? Act first, ask questions later. Essentially. And that's kind of my whole problem with what the modern left is doing now. It's kind of like, and I remember I talked about this with Mild, it's kind of like they are so afraid of the Dunning-Kruger effect. They're afraid of what they said, of what they are saying, without really thinking what it is they are saying. If that makes sense to people. This is kind of to showcase that people aren't willing to take a deeper look within themselves and ask a following set of questions to improve themselves as a person. I've seen friends who are bi get targeted by LGBT people over trans issues. LGBT has become an extremely toxic environment to the point that people are leaving. I think what also they don't understand is that it's causing much more damage to the actual trans people that just want to be left alone. And I can attribute fault towards how it got so bad was because they did not do enough in weeding out the quote-unquote activists and the fetishists from leaving them out of those spaces. Like, in a way, they didn't do enough. And I think it's kind of more so they tried being a bit more passive about it, There's probably some of them that probably made fun of them for, being, super weird. But then what ended up happening is that they started infiltrating these spaces more and more and more, to the result that they've ended up completely taking it over and completely changing it, doing so much damage to the amount of work that, actual trans people have done to be accepted. And that's why a lot of people are tired of them as a result. Okay, the track that's actually playing by Starset, it seems appropriate, especially since the title is called Unbecoming. That is funny, because in a way it is true. This is their unbecoming. The approach that they've done, this is essentially their unbecoming. But I digress. That's kind of why I find it so interesting. And there is also a reason why they do this. It's trauma. It's basically projecting their own personal trauma onto other people. One of the most important voices within the LGBT community is detransitioners. Those voices are ignored at best and treated as a betrayal at worst, to the point of harassment. It is so heartbreaking. And I remember talking about this. I don't like that people who detransitioned are not only being ignored, but at the same time, they're also being actively harassed. Because they don't look at the reason why they detransitioned. They just see that they've essentially done it to where they're like, oh my God, you fucking traitor! How dare you do this? I will make sure that your life is a living hell! This is all that they're doing. They're causing much more damage and are inherently invalidating their trauma. Because people have to understand, there's many reasons that somebody could detransition. Whether it could be because somebody groomed them into it, they didn't think through of the possible side effects transitioning could entail. They could have been forced into a position like that, whether by friends, parents, mentors, teachers, you name it. Doctors even. There's so many different reasons, very complex reasons, that could lead them into detransitioning, that these particular quote-unquote activists and the fetishists are actively ignoring. And for a lot of the people that are basically crying, they're invalidating my trauma, they're invalidating what I had to go through before I transitioned. And yet you're giving that same disrespect towards people that are detransitioned. You are actively invalidating their own trauma, ironically. And also, I also have to point out the irony as well. The irony as well, considering that they've essentially mass-targeted a woman. Because you know how a lot of people that are trans, quote-unquote trans, they go out in public and essentially they have those moments where it's like, sir, I'm a woman. You will call me a woman. I will not be tolerating of your disrespect when you call me the wrong gender. And yet those same particular people, just because a woman had a different opinion, that they didn't agree with the current ideology, but is allowing people to make their own choices. They chose to basically target this woman and get them out of the creator zone, which inherently, ironically, is being sexist. It never ceases to amaze me. Chloe Cole, a very important voice. Guess what organization she's a part of? Turning Point USA. And not to get inherently too political, it's kind of impossible considering the topic that we are discussing. This is my problem with these feces of a group. With the feces that have infested themselves in this group. They're doing actual damage to trans people that just want to live their life and be left alone. They're actively causing damage and are setting their movement several steps back. Especially with doing shit like this. And essentially this particular Mia situation got so big, you know, there's so much discussion around it. Even Alara decided to punch down. Alara essentially decided to punch down as well. Basically, to end up hitting Miyatsu where it hurts, and just decide to cover the situation again. There is actually a particular clip I want to show that actually made me want to stream. And I will show it right now.
VTuber self-introduction cue.
Shut the actual fuck up. I do not care about your introduction. Because I actually had to. It's right over here. Because she ends up bringing up her clip that essentially got her that instantly got her, called out by so many people. So we're gonna watch through this together. I'm gonna increase the resolution. So there is a couple points in this video that I want to show. I did watch this video a little bit, but there's actually a couple points in here that I actually want to touch upon. So we're going to go through this together, and I want you to listen carefully. I recommend that you listen carefully because there is so much I want to say about this piece of shit.
Several months ago, back on March 7th, where I made this short about Miyatsu, right? And I said this VTuber just ruined their career. And in this particular clip,
which she didn't,
I'm gonna play it for you all. And I want you all to take a look and tell me what your initial thoughts are about this VTuber. So here we go, guys. And we're gonna
Don't worry, Alara. I will let you know my thoughts personally.
talk about something very, very disappointing, chat. That is right, a VTuber being transphobic in the VTuber sphere.
I'm not homophobic. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're lesbian. However, it is a problem when you're talking about transgender stuff. I feel like you're hurting your body. I think you shouldn't be supporting anybody that says that they're a different gender than what they really are. You're hurting your friends. You're actually this gender. No, these people are hurting, bro. You should not encourage that. If someone tells me, oh, call me a he or a she, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna call you by your name. Oh, I'm all of a sudden this gender. That's just not how that works. Anyone is male and female, and you're born with that biological thing.
Obviously, you can hear just from this clip, right? A fundamental misunderstanding of the difference between gender and sex, right? I'll continue.
Are male and female, and I feel like I shouldn't be held back by saying what I feel.
I shouldn't be held back by what I feel. I mean, look, girly, I'm not gonna stop you from sinking yourself, like.
Sinking yourself? Okay, let me ask a question here. What is it here that she said that was wrong? What is it that she said here that was wrong? Do you not agree with it? Which, if that is the case, you are more than free to disagree with it. And if you disagree with it, just go on your merry little way. Because all Mia Su said here is that you are free to believe what you want to believe. You are free to practice what you choose to practice. She finds it an issue when people want to push their worldview onto others that don't align with their beliefs. She finds an issue with those particular people. And she herself doesn't agree with, finding it in herself to do such a practice because, she's looking at it from a religious perspective. I don't know if Mia said she was Christian or not, but she's looking at it from a perspective of God gave you this body, and with this body, you want to take care of it and to keep it healthy. You do not alter it because you are God's perfect image, and you want to maintain that image. Choosing to alter it to make yourself more perfect, you are actively hurting yourself. That is the line of logic. Do I particularly agree with this? No. But at the same time, why should I care? Why should I care this much over what you believe? Because according to fucking Ilara here, just because she expressed what she felt, you're going to seek yourself further, lady. You are going to end up being a fucking transphobic piece of shit. And I say this mockingly because I have such a problem with these news journalists that always go for this tactic where, yeah, I am very much an authoritative figure on these kinds of topics. And I'm here expressing what I feel. And here's the thing, Ilara. You are free to express what you feel. Just as much we have it in our right to call you out if you are wrong about something. Here you are basically trying to call out Mia for being wrong with what she believes. But in doing so, people are coming at you to call you out for what you believe. This is why free speech is a thing. And it's something that needs to be maintained.
Look, I'm just here to report on it. I'll just show this and say not.
You're not here to report on it, Ilara. You are not here to report on it. You are here to punch down on a creator that expresses what she's feeling.
Not a word. Oh yeah, we're not done. Hold on, I got more for you.
Can y'all stop with that, dude? Again, I have a hot take with that. I feel like it's stupid that a certain race can't say a certain word. Like, that's dumb to me. I feel like
they're obviously.
Yes, this particular topic. Yes, this particular topic about racism. Because again, what is it that she's saying is wrong here? What is it that she said is wrong here?
Talking about the N-word, right, chat?
That alone is already racist as it is, but that's my take on it.
So let me get this straight, Dad. Let me stand up for this. Hold on, I need to make sure I get this straight. Let me stand up. So you're telling me that it's discrimination to not use a word that is used to discriminate against people. Make it make sense. What timeline does that make sense?
I don't know. It makes complete sense to me, Ilara. Sounds like to me you can't seem to grapple with the fact that yes, it sounds really, really stupid that a certain word can't be used by other races except one, which inherently is being racist. And also, the N-word, are you talking about the hard R? Or are you talking about the soft A? Because if you're talking about the soft A, everybody uses that word. It's either everybody can use that word or nobody can. Black people have said it, white people have said it, Asians have said it, Mexicans have said it, Brazilians have said it, Asians have said it, Japanese people have said it, Chinese people have said it, Indian people have said it, blah, 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 blah. Everyone has pretty much said it once in their lives. They have a choice to not say it, but they have a choice to also say it if, depending on context, it's either because of a joke from early in their lives or it is from when they spoke with a certain friend. Now, of course, you have to be careful of the things that you say around people, but there's always context to a lot of things. And also, the N-word didn't start as a word that's used to discriminate people. It did not start that way. Jeez. It's so hard taking somebody like this seriously when they're trying to present themselves as a quote-unquote goth girl news reporter. It's so hard to take people like this seriously. It's almost impossible. I hate people like this, man.
That's the argument. It's discrimination. I cannot use this word that is historically been used to discriminate against other people.
It hasn't. It hasn't been used historically. It hasn't. The soft A has not been used historically to discriminate against other people. You're talking about the hard R. And even then, who the fuck cares? There's still people out there that still use the hard R. Slavery has already come and went. Where have you been? There's only certain places around the globe that still have not gone away from this line of thinking, from, the slavery kind of deal. But for the most part, in America, we have not heard anything about slavery anymore. Again, where have you been? Where have you been? And again, I've seen people on VR chat use the hard R. I've heard people use the hard R. And for the most part, aside from a small subset of people, most of them did not care. They did not care.
Oh my god, I'm dying out here, chat. I'm losing my fucking mind.
Ironically, Lara would plug your ears if she heard what areas of the world still have slavery and segregation. So true. Super true.
And that's it. This was my short, right, guys? So you saw the clips of my commentary, etc., guys. Well, this blew up. Really blew up. So if you don't know this history, you're gonna get it right. He says hey, good on you, Lara. People calling trans people mentally ill for wanting to be themselves is a genuinely crazy take. I agree with that, right? Looking up, I was this one that managed to anger both the Sonic community and VTuber community. Very same, right? Somebody saying, oh, you unironically just kickstarted this person's streaming career. Oh, no, it's...
By the way, she completely glossed over Nanigachi's take, where she says, I find it incredibly ironic that when someone like Rev makes a video supposedly punching down on a smaller creator, it's a problem. But when someone on the right side of history does it, it's perfectly fine. The hypocrisy is honestly insane. She completely glossed over this particular comment, and she's only highlighting the ones where it's essentially people agreeing with her. You have to agree with me or you shut up.
Somebody with a different opinion than me. And this is kind of the core of the argument, right? People like, oh, Alara with another trash take. So here's...
Oh, look, and basically, she's not only highlighting the particular people where it's actually just, basically name-calling her, like, oh no, it's someone with a different opinion than me, and then basically making fun of her, and she highlights this
Here's the
next,
thing about
right?
this, right, guys? This isn't just a different opinion. Anything that has to do with human rights is not just a different opinion. Different opinion is, I don't like...
Oh, okay, hold on. Let's slow down for a second. This is not a matter of different opinion when it's about human rights. Okay. Let's just take this line and let's just take it at face value. That it's no longer a different opinion when the topic is about human rights. So here's my question. What kind of human rights are we essentially talking about? Because in the world of comedy, in the world of entertainment, there have always been times when media has always addressed certain social taboos which can correlate to events surrounding human rights. And when people highlight those certain issues, it's them offering their own insight, their own opinion. Their own opinion on this certain issue and why they think it should be this way. Or better yet, they'll leave it up to the viewer to make their own moral individual judgment when being exposed to the reality of said issue. So what part of this, what part of what Miyasu said was wrong? Not only that, you are also actively choosing to ignore an actual human rights issue when the trans movement itself is being fundamentally damaged because of the cause of these activists, quote-unquote activists, and these fetishists that are seeking to make other people's lives a living hell, whether you are conservative, whether you are religious, whether you are also on the left but have your own individual take that doesn't align with the sheep mentality. You, Alara, are ironically being fucking sexist, homophobic, and transphobic yourself by ignoring these human rights issues because they are a different point of view that you don't agree with, and you decide it's okay to punch down on a woman just because she expressed what she felt. You are the worst journalist known to man, or secretly LARPing as a female with a voice changer, one which you have admitted in the past. You have admitted to using a voice changer in the past, and have made no active change to make yourself sound like yourself. The way I see it, I think you are still deep in your own trauma. Because it sounds like you may have had a rough life with your family. And okay, I've had a rough life too. But do I make it everybody else's problem? Fuck no! Why? Because I know how to handle it myself. I've gotten the help that I need. I now have really good relationships with people of various colors, different ethnicities, different genders, you name it. Because I was able to make that work and to come to terms with my own personal traumas. I do not make it everybody else's problem in this day and age. I handle it in the best way I know. And sure, I've made mistakes along the way. But what matters is that I've learned from it. You bitch! You never fucking learn. I know that I am not alone in feeling this way. Because that's Lara's entire career. She adds no nuance. She adds no further opinion. Lara's the denims of VTubing. Unfortunately, you're right. I hate these people. I genuinely hate these types of people that want to make other people's lives hell just because they're expressing what they believe. And instead of doing the obvious thing, which is to just ignore them and let them to their own devices, they want to treat themselves as the hero. To appeal to a fucking crowd that doesn't care for you. This has been grinding my gears before I started the stream. And I'm glad what I actually feel about this cunt is out there. There is unfortunately a little bit more in regards to her to go over. We'll go over it together. And it's okay. I'm calm. We're calm. We're fine.
I like apples. I like oranges, right? That's a different opinion. These types of takes with transphobic type comments, also racist type comments, are not okay, right? It's unacceptable. But of course, chat, this absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. I was getting slammed on Twitter.
Rightfully so.
Slammed on. Banana Juju, bitch, please, nothing is ruined. Celestium says, I've never gotten the day you spoke ill of me in your stream for the same thing. Yes, because you are homophobic. Cancel culture won't win. It's the only shame you're still participating in it, Laura. Not only that, you advocate for an ideology that's so destructive to the lives of the people struggling with who they are.
This is another thing that pissed me off. I want to go back a second. Because I want you to notice this.
Participating in it, Laura. Not only that, you advocate for an ideology that is so destructive to the lives of the people struggling with who they are.
Now, she has glossed over this particular line right here. This is from a VTuber by the name of Mana. Mana has expressed themselves with being trans themselves, with being trans. And she has said the following line, which I will read out right here. Hey, trans person here. The person who's giving their take on trans people is right in some ways. And the truth is, I'll never be a biological woman despite being a trans woman. It's just a fact. I respect their opinion, and everyone's right to have their own. This is from someone that actually understands it. And I have heard from other people that I will not name that have expressed a very similar viewpoint to what Mana has said. They are fully accepting that they will never be the opposite gender, which is the problem a lot of people have when it comes to gender dysphoria. But they still find a way to be happy. They are understanding of their origin and are happy with being this new version of themselves, and are also aware of the current issues with the LGBT and will speak on it. And what does Elara do in this case when highlighting people that are naysaying her? She just breezes by them. No thought. Nothing. Just goes by them. Chat, this is not a news reporter. This is someone that is looking to fit in with the VTuber crowd without any joy, without any passion, that is willing to dump their own personal trauma and to highlight people that are just agreeing with her. She wants yes men. And later down the line, she is going to end up feeling miserable. Excuse me. She is going to end up feeling miserable down the road. Because at one point in her life, she is going to do something very stupid. And all of these people that are supporting her right now will never be there for her in that time of need. And in this scenario, she cannot blame anybody but herself. And yet, when everything points back at her, she will be the type of person to basically point at everyone else and blame them for not helping them. You fucking troglodyte. And you know what? I'll do it. If I can fucking find it. Yeah, I don't think I have the. I don't think I can find the clip.
Hello again, friends.
I don't think I could find the line. It doesn't matter. Like Shuan had said, just say the line. Elara, she has cultivated an audience of piranhas waiting for her to gain an open wound. It's like I said. She is being in those particular people's corner right now. And I guarantee you, the day she fucks up, nobody is going to be there for her. And I mean fucking nobody. Everyone is going to look at them with contempt. And all Elara is going to do is just point their fingers around everyone and tell them that they are the problem. Not her. They are the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem. Bitch, you're the fucking problem! Fuck! I'm sorry, guys. I need a minute. You know what's funny? The people she goes after now are probably more than willing to actually forgive her once her audience finally does go after her. Because that's usually what happens. As much as you want to be petty, your conscience gets the better of you. The trouble is, I don't know. I don't know if the people that goes after her will actually be willing to offer them the hand. Maybe they will. But do you think Elara's gonna take it and learn anything from it? That's an important question. And my mind is thinking that she won't. It sounds harsh for me to say it, but the reality is, I don't think she's going to learn anything from this. I truly don't. And that might seem harsh for me to say, but it's true. Maybe. She chose to side with Kirsch just because they were both targeted by Afkai despite being diametrically different politically. And maybe that's true. And it's rare. But that's why I hate this fucking snake doing this. A rare instance where she actually sided with someone despite having a different view. But if I'm not surprised, because she did that, people from her fan base attacked her. Am I not mistaken? That actually took a lot out of me. I mean, she never calls out Rima, despite the fact that Rima is much more edgy. We both know who Rima talks to and how she got her start. This is true. I still have so much bitter resentment towards Rima. Because she just can't stop lying. She's willing to go after people who go after her friends just because we told Rima her video was bad. And she had all the means to reach out to people and do proper extensive research before deciding to release a video about the Cinder case. Yet she chose not to. She's hurt people like myself. She's hurt people like Akko. Actually, less about Akko. More for Mizu. I'm only bringing up Rima for the purpose of pointing out Elara's politics, only being with whoever is her friend. And considering Kersha herself said that Rima is willing to probably be friendly with someone like Anna Valence. I'm tired of these people causing trouble in our spaces. At best, we just want those people out. And I know I can't be the only one feeling like this. Is there a possibility that some of them can learn? Absolutely. But that's only if they're willing to make the step to learn. Which for a lot of them, they don't. And I genuinely hate that a lot of them don't. Rima will never fucking learn. Which is why I'm of the belief that Elara will never fucking learn. The day Elara actually learns is when hell freezes over. There is actually one more clip I'm gonna play. But I mean, we'll get through a little bit of this more, because I haven't checked past a certain point. I don't think there was much to cover. It's kind of just going through the same points over and over again. But if there is something I missed, anybody who has seen this video, they're more than free to let me know in the Discord server.
Again, Sparky's calls me the R word. Why is idiot for making this clip but going after them for a voice changer? Talking about like voice changer. That was a totally. By the way, everybody was saying I was using a voice changer, which was like they were just taking away from my my argument, right? They were trying to detract from it. Let's see. Yeah, like even like Madam Savvy said this stuff. I mean, it was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, let's see. Laura, aside from the brutality, I dished in your comment section. I don't even know who this person is. Fingers still second in 2020 meta. Let me update you to 2026. You are the bad guys, and normal people hate you for the roaches you are. Danger grows a person if you're even capable. So again, people were absolutely going after my ass in this particular clip, right? This got to the point, chat, where of course this was you know, covered in a lot of other things, like Rep Says Desu. Rep Says Desu actually released, he was the only one that I know of that released a video about this, right? We're not gonna watch the full video. You can definitely go check it out if you want to, but of course, it says VTuber news commentator Lara tried to join in on a cancel campaign targeting a VTuber named Miyazu, but it backfired spectacularly. Guys, I want to remember this sentence here, okay? It's very important for the whole coverage today. Remember this. We're going to come back to this line, but again, I tried to join in on a cancel campaign targeting a VTuber, Miyazu, right? Because...
Which you did. You did, Alara. There's no denying it. You did.
Somebody that has transphobic comments, that shouldn't be called out. That's just canceling them wrongfully, right, guys? Brad, what are you talking about, bro? Somebody texts right, so many people worth less than a picture.
There's things you cannot like Rev for. But was he wrong here? Again, asking the question. What was he wrong about?
We got this skywalk. Yeah, exactly. Like, the thing is not only am I just covering it, but also, like, this person literally boxed themselves in. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. So let's go look at some, another old clip that kind of caused some controversy, right? And it was this one here. So let's take a look at it.
Meteor Morning the boss, yep. Meteor Morning the boss, yep.
I didn't watch up to this. I didn't watch past this particular point because I didn't think it was worth it in what she has to say. I'm sure there's going to be a clip about it that she'll release later that will probably go over this particular situation. And then we'll have the same old song and dance again. But even then, you are just not worth it, Alara. Sometimes you are just not worth it. She sounds like she's looking for her audience to both agree with her and give her better arguments. Just the way she talks to her chat. I did somewhat notice that. I wasn't sure how else to describe it. Should we have, you know what, I'm going to react to the rest of this.
So there is a, to give you context, there is a person in chat named Meteor Morning, who is black, and Mia is like, oh yes, this is Meteor Morning, the boss, right? Calling a monkey, essentially. And so Meteor Morning says, I'm not comfortable with that. That's not cool. And they kind of double down in this clip. Just to give you some, a little bit of a, you know, context here.
You're black? I can't be the monkey? Oh, well that makes it even better, bro. That makes it even better.
that clip, right, guys? I will also show you where she actually recently doubled down on this. So let's take a look at this, what she had to say about it. And tell me what you think.
I'm asking because I saw a clip of you calling a monkey character a black person name, and then you said it was funny. Is this true? Yes, it was funny. It was funny. If you have a problem with that, then that's not your kind of you know, if that's not your kind of joke that you don't like.
It's not a joke.
But it was a joke. But it was a joke, Alara.
It's not a joke.
Yes, it was. And stop giving that Vine Boom thing. You're not funny. You're not funny.
That's it. Are we still hiding behind the 2018? Oh, it was a joke, bro. It was a joke. What? It's not a joke. It's who laughed? It's not funny. Besides you, nobody else laughed. Like, what?
Have you checked her chat? How do you know? How do you know nobody was laughing? Did you check their chat? Did you see nobody going like LOL, LMFAO or anything like that? No lol emotes? Nothing?
Yeah, racism is not a joke.
You don't like the joke, then
There's plenty of racist jokes that's been done before.
it is what it is. And you think that's racist? You know what racism is? Racism is when you when you hate someone because of their race. Now, making fun of stereotypes and stuff like that, that's not racism.
Making fun of stereotypes is not racism. What? What?
Why the fuck are you screaming?
What?
You see what I mean when I say she's still using a voice changer and has not changed as much? Here's another example.
There is...
Honey, you're forcing it. You're forcing yourself to laugh. Stop it. Go see a doctor.
No way she uttered that line. There's actually no way that she just said that. I'm gonna rewind this really quick to make sure that I'm not hearing things. Hold on, let me...
Now, making fun of stereotypes and stuff like that, that's not racism.
Oh my god. What?
Again, what is it that she said here was wrong? You know what? I'm going to play you a clip. And I think it's appropriate. So, for those who don't know, there's this chef by the name of Kenji Lopez, who grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. They're an Asian American who essentially has dealt with racism in the past. And they made an egg fried rice video, and people were shouting out Uncle Roger to react to it. Uncle Roger is a comedian from Malaysia. And his whole bit now on this channel is that he does this thing called Uncle Roger, which is basically making fun of the Asian uncle stereotype, with an accent and everything. Now, I'm going to play this next clip uninterrupted. And I want you to pay attention to what he says. Because to give context, on Kenji's fried rice video, people were asking Uncle Roger to react to his video. Now, Kenji has since closed the comments and has specified in the video description that he did not like people putting in Uncle Roger comments. And he thought that the whole Uncle Roger bit was offensive. Uncle Roger here gives his response to what Kenji said before reacting to his video. Now, I'm going to play this next clip uninterrupted, and I want you to listen carefully to what he says here.
This fried rice video by this chef J. Kenji Lopez out. The fried rice really good, But then I see he have comments of, and this the video description. I have zero interest in Uncle Roger comments, so please don't make them and consider not making them in other places as well. That a bit harsh. I don't like that his shtick seemed to give a free pass to people to imitate stereotypical Asian speech pattern and pronunciation. Hiya, nephew Kenji. People have accent. Accent is not stereotype. Accent is just how we talk and how we live. There's nothing wrong with having accent, especially as it almost always not Asian doing the imitating. Sure, many people watch Uncle Roger video and then they imitate Uncle Roger way of speaking. And now they use hiya and fuyo in their daily life. That's amazing! Uncle Roger popularized Malaysian slang to the whole world, fuyo. And when people imitate Uncle Roger like that, they're not making fun of me. It's all out of love. And many Asian people imitate Uncle Roger also. See this clip where I got one single white guy in there? You try to find? It's ugly, it's yellow face, it's not funny. And it promotes anti-Asian racism at a time when Asians are already being heavily discriminated against. It is not welcome here. But right now, everybody on TikTok trying to be Chinese baddie. They drinking warm water, eating goji berry, doing Chinese medicine and everything. Asian people, we so cool now. And how can accent promote racism? By that logic, every person in Asia with Asian accent, they all promote racism. Uncle Roger traveled all over the world, meeting my niece and nephew. The only Asian who complaining about my accent are Asian from California. Hiya. I think there's something wrong in water there. Usually when people hear accent of where they from, it's a joyful experience. This their memory of growing up. Our mom, dad, auntie, uncle, all relative, all sound like this. Uncle Roger and my nephew Nigel, we both from Malaysia. I'm not embarrassed of myself or where I come from. Sorry to hear that Asian accent make you sad. When other comedians do Italian accent,
it's a little mushroom, it works.
Imitate their Arab parent.
Why 95? Where is the other 5?
Or their Hispanic mom.
I think I'm the nanny. I say no, I'm the mother.
Everybody love it. Accent is fun. Accent is part of keeping our culture alive. Sorry I don't sound white like you, nephew Kenji. Hiya. Where you even from? Boston. Enough talking. Let's review 5.
Okay. Now we've played through this entire clip uninterrupted. Now, I'm sure chat noticed something in everything that Uncle Roger just said here. The things that he said all ring true to what Mia Su has essentially expressed in her video. Racism is making fun of somebody's race for being this race. It is not racism when you are essentially highlighting a stereotype. Black people have essentially made the joke themselves about being monkeys. Not only that, who knows about people? I'm sure people here know about the hoodweeb culture. You know, black people that essentially like anime. There's a lot of them that find Frieza funny. Even though the whole thing with Frieza is that he calls Saiyans monkeys. You see now how Alara's logic essentially falls flat? Especially with this example that I've shown here of a similar situation.
Guys, I want to remind you all, I was the one getting absolutely trashed on Twitter about this person. Remember that. Remember that, Dad.
Again, rightfully so.
That is just making a joke. Just like everyone else. I make fun of myself.
No, that is not like everybody else.
I mean, it is.
No. That is not like everybody else. That is absolutely untrue. Like, Not everybody does that.
I make fun of the way I talk, the way Cubans act. That is just stereotypes, okay? And when it comes to racism, that's something else. That's you hating someone, getting them away from you.
Do you not understand that perpetuation of stereotypes is problematic? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, stereotypes are also frowned upon too. Like, perpetuation of stereotypes is problematic too. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna separate the two.
And again, I literally proved the opposite in a clip that I just showed. Stereotypes are not frowned upon. You absolute buffoon.
One is innocent, one of the other ones isn't. Like, no, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. If you looked at this and genuinely thought, that's funny, even when the person was like, no, that can't be me. I'm African American. That's not funny, right? And you're just like, oh, yes, it is. Ha, ha, ha. It's funny to me and everybody else.
And let me be clear. This is a person, I'm pretty sure Alara's Caucasian white. I think she said she was Caucasian. I could be mistaken. Alara would be one of the first people to make a white people can't handle spicy food stereotype. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I bet she can't even do it. Hold on. I'm actually going to pull up a clip.
Change the what?
Right. Right here.
Also, why you be with him so pussy? Can't even handle spice.
So true.
No, you're being rude and you're being wrongful. You're being morally corrupt at that point.
Because of their race. That's racism. I need you guys to understand what racism is.
All right, so let's do this. Racism is a system of oppression, prejudice, and discrimination based on a race or ethnicity that operates under multiple levels ranging from individual bias to large-scale societal structures that assign values and resources to groups based on their physical appearance or background. Of course, you have interpersonal, systematic, internalized racism. Girl, what you just said, there is so much more that involves the terminology of racism. You were trying to box it in and frame it as this one thing when it is so much more vastly huge than you were willing to admit.
What the fuck are you talking about? Which, by the way, is only kind of true. That's mostly a suburban white stereotype. And even then, sometimes the suburban white will just destroy their palate with every spice on the planet. Basically eating like all those Carolina Reapers or the Pepper X's, Ghost Pepper, Szechuan Pepper. There's a lot of different peppers out there that are really, really, really spicy. There was one point my spice tolerance wasn't really good, but I actually ended up challenging myself to eating a lot of different peppers to where I can essentially handle spice pretty well. I'd say I'd be capable of handling spice pretty well at this stage now. But again, I had to ask this question to Laura. What the fuck are you talking about? So, you read through this. Spicy food is good is when the dish is meant to be spicy. Yeah. Like, for example, Szechuan chili chicken. There's like, numbing chicken, there's chili chicken, which is usually served in like Chinese spots. They're really good. The numbing chicken especially, with that little bit of like savoriness, with the sweetness, but the use of the numbing Szechuan pepper, it has this sort of like addictive effect when you like eat it. and it basically makes you want to eat more. That type of spicy food is really good. And for those who haven't tried it, I highly recommend trying it. It is something that I highly recommend people trying. Now, I actually want to play this particular clip again because, again, yes, Alara, just read the definition. Never mind who created that definition or when. Like, look at this right here. So, it's a system of oppression, prejudice, and discrimination based on race or ethnicity. It operates across multiple levels, ranging from individual bias to large-scale societal structures that assign value and resources to groups based on their physical appearance or background. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now, understanding racism requires examining its primary forms: interpersonal racism, prejudice, discriminatory, or hostile behavior between individuals. This includes racial slurs, harassment, or treating someone worse in a professional or social setting because of their race. Systemic institutional racism. The historical, cultural, and institutional structures, such as legal systems, housing markets, or employment practices, that create advantages for certain racial groups while disadvantaging others. Internalized racism. When individuals from marginalized racial groups subconsciously accept and act on negative stereotypes or biases directed against their own race. Now, reading this, which one of these rules fits what Mia essentially did? Somebody in the chat said they were black. She saw that and there was a monkey on the screen. And she made a joke saying, "Oh, that makes it even more better." And again, I asked the same question to Alara. Was her chat basically going, "That's fucked up"? Or was most of them just going, "Ha ha ha, lol, LMAO," all that kind of stuff? Because if it ends up being the latter, Alara, what the fuck are you doing here? Genuinely, what the fuck are you doing here?
Of course, you have interpersonal, systematic, internalized racism. Girl, what you just said, there is so much more that involves the terminology of racism. You were trying to box it in and frame it as this one thing when it is so much more vastly huge than you were willing to admit.
Please, for the love of crap, because I know how many times people like to say, "You're racist because you said this." It's a joke. People did this in the 90s, in the 80s. People did this all the time.
People still do this today. Actually, I should probably address this to Mia a little bit. People still do it today. That type of comedy hasn't really gone away. But I have a feeling she knows that.
Did this in the 80s and people it did in the 90s. You do realize that even though that happened in the 80s and 90s, it was wrong and racist then, like.
Oh, God. Yeesh.
We're in 2026. We've grown as a society.
Some would say we've regressed as a society because of people like you, Alara.
Like, what? 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 Oh my god. Let's continue.
They did this all the time back in the day.
Yeah, so that's a great example, Censored. So because we used the R and F slur back in the 80s and 90s, that's suddenly okay? Of course not.
But now people are too freaking freak. Oh my gosh. Stereotypes not racism, it's a pattern recognition. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Racism is hating someone and getting them out of your life because you don't like their race.
That's not even that's not the definition of racism, though.
Did you pass high school? Laura, let me ask you something. Did you pass high school? Did you genuinely, legitimately pass high school? You just read the definition of what racism is. What part of Mia's joke was racist? And again, I proved something with the clip I showed earlier from Uncle Roger. Stereotype and making fun of the stereotype is not racism. Woman, what the fuck is your problem? Bear in mind they have lowered the standards for what's necessary to pass high school, so... Alright, you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to go to the middle of the camera. Fuck this. I'm going to go to the middle of the camera, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to tower myself over Ilara right now. Like this. Ilara, you are a sexist piece of shit. You are inherently stomping upon this poor girl for getting herself mass-targeted by a bunch of people that didn't like what she had to say. And your whole purpose of doing this particular news report on Mia again is because of the people that essentially called you out for your opinion. Just as you tried to punch down on someone that had a different opinion from you and accuse them of being racist and transphobic and sexist, you lady, you sniveling, contriving, snakish cunt. You are sexist, and inherently, you are also being racist. You are not a news reporter. You are just a has-been goth wannabe putting on a voice changer because that is all you are good for. And when you decide to, and when you eventually fuck up, which can happen, I know that your own audience is going to abandon you and not help you. And I pray that you do not look at that situation and instead of looking at yourself, you point the fingers at other people and blame them for the problems that you caused. You're a horrible news reporter. You're a piece of shit. Genuinely and kindly, go fuck yourself. I think that's about all I can cover for her Twitch VOD. Generally, that's all of it. It was just as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, that being said, Mia herself eventually posted her message to everyone. Calling her a news reporter is a stretch. She's more of a VTuber T-channel. Is there a difference when she essentially saying that she's reporting on it? To me, that essentially is saying that she's classifying herself as a VTuber news reporter. When she goes around saying, like, I just report on this stuff. That doesn't really sound like a T-channel. That feels more like she's trying to be a news reporter. For VTubers, essentially. While she's stretching. That's what I mean. But anyways. Probably popping something. Probably. I mean, she brands herself as a goth girl. I wouldn't be surprised if she's taking meth or drugs or even some sort of weed. Anyways, I'm going to play this clip in its entirety. This is a message that Mia has given to everyone.
I don't want to be known as the drama, you know, the person that was involved in some kind of drama. Oh yes, that one VTuber that was involved in this, right? Come on. I do not want to be seen as that. Obviously, is most likely too late, you know, at this point. But at the end of the day, my point is, I don't want to see people in my space, whether you, even if you agree and I catch you harassing other people, cursing at them, saying these violent things, mean things to people that you don't know online, and you're just spending all this time going online as if that's going to solve anything, to random people that you never met in your life, I will be blocking you. The same thing applies the other way around. Alright? Both sides. I don't care. I do not want that kind of stuff in my space. That's it. I simply want to continue making content for Sonic and other things. These are my streams, and if you have a problem with it, just simply stop watching, go do something else. And I hope you find other things to do that is much of a better hobby than coming here and spending your time trying to do all these things. Okay? Thank you. That's all. And I will not be talking about this from now on. Please. I simply want to continue moving forward, and I just wanted to put this out there. Alright? If I catch you doing anything, no matter what side you're on, you will be removed and you will be banned. Thank you.
So essentially, Mia is finally putting her foot down, which I'm personally glad about. Which I personally, well, agree may be a bit of a stretch, but I understand. I don't fully agree with Mia's stance here. For starters, this will paint her as a target going forward, but more importantly, it will signal to others that they shouldn't stand up for themselves. It's kind of a wishy-washy message. I understand where she's coming from, though we have to also consider that even the fact that she's choosing to not talk about this any further, I don't think it's inherently going to stop people. But again, I understand why she's saying it. But that's why I feel it's important for people to at least say something and to stick by what they believe. And on the part that it's signaling to others that they shouldn't stand up for themselves, you're right, it does set a very bad precedent. But it's also hinting at that this is the current world that we live in. That this is the consequence if you choose to stand up for yourself against a group of strangers online that don't even know who you are. Whether it's on the world of Twitter, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Kick, or so many other places. It doesn't really matter where. That is unfortunately the current world that we're living in. And I hate that this is the case. But it is the world that we live in. Which is why I personally would suggest the opposite. It is completely okay to stand up for what you believe in. If you're inherently doing nothing wrong, it is completely okay to stand up for yourself. And I think it's personally important to stand up for yourself in this scenario. I understand that she doesn't want to talk about it, but what's going to happen is that she'll keep getting kicked. This will keep getting brought up as ammo. Very true. I do feel for Mia here. I understand why she's doing it. I do feel sad, but at the same time, I understand it. I'm gonna go back to the other screen here. Oh wait, that's the wrong screen, never mind. Whoops. There we go. Sorry about that. But Jesus Christ, I actually went on a really bad tangent there. I'm so sorry about that, everyone. Kershaw actually mentioned that after her cancellation campaign, a lot of people reached out privately and said that they felt empowered to stand up for themselves because she did. This is why I say that it's important to stand up for yourself, especially when you're not wrong about something. Do not apologize for things that you haven't done. Do not stand down even when people are falsely accusing you for something. If there is something that you truly believe in, stand the fuck up. You alone have the choice to make the choice to head towards a better tomorrow. I did, unfortunately, go say it with your chest. Exactly. Which is why I ended up saying what I did. I can't listen to this. Not even this one either. Sorry. But anyways, I did end up going on a bit of a tangent. I genuinely went full on rage mode. Because genuinely, fuck Elara. Fuck these assholes that did this to her. And I would much rather people say something is wrong rather than just staying quiet. More like a rant, but I guess that rant counts as a tangent. Whichever. But at the same time, can you really blame me? I genuinely hate that a piece of shit like Elara did that. Which is why I ended up saying what I needed to say. And by fucking God, I will gladly clip this. I will gladly clip that suction. I will post it on fucking Twitter, and I will make sure Elara knows. I will gladly do it. Because I am not part of Mia's community. I am not a part of Mia's community, which means I'm basically answering for my own self. I will gladly do this for my own free will to basically clip that part of the stream and call out this bitch. I could easily do it. Does Elara even ever go after larger creators than herself? Honestly, apart from Cinder, when she was getting cancelled, I'm not sure if there are other examples where she has gone after other larger creators. At least, I haven't seen it. Is it possible it's out there? Probably. I mean, if you want to count Rev Says Desu as a larger creator, sure. That could probably be a good example. But with that being said, I genuinely believe that she is not only sexist, but inherently, because of her own arguments, I would classify her as a racist. So smaller creators, socially acceptable targets, and those that don't fight back. Pretty much. She's a bully. Not only a bully, she's a tight ass, she's a sadist, she's a fucking sexist. Support someone like that? Never. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I need to stop. I don't think I've ever met a VTuber that has genuinely made me angry apart from Rima. Jeez. Okay. I think calling her a bully for who she chooses to target is enough. That's fair. But yeah, I genuinely have not met anybody that genuinely makes me angry. Though again, in a way, I'm basically asking myself now, was there anything I said in that entire rant that was inherently wrong? My mind's telling me no. But I am also going to trust in the people that, at least know me, will probably tell me in their own way, but my body is telling me yes. That sounds weird with my voice changer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I burst people's eardrums there. If you stuck with me after that little tidbit, I'm so sorry. Honestly, the Linkin Park music is actually helping me calm down. I wouldn't say wrong, but maybe unsubstantiated. You know what? Okay, fine. That's fair. The one thing you can't deny, though, was that she actually makes me angry. There is that part of me that can't wait for the day she gets what she deserves. But until that happens, I'm just here, doing my thing. And if she wants to make it a problem, I will only say one thing. Go fuck yourself. You go after easy targets. You are not a fucking news journalist. Go fuck yourself. I could probably fix up my rant a little bit. inherently, what I said wasn't wrong. With that being said, that is the stream for today. I am done. I need to go do some shit. I am going to plan to do a stream with Eden next, because I genuinely want to play some, do some Tekken streams with her. I generally want to do some more Tekken streams with her. I want to get back to playing that. And I will also probably consider doing some Monster Hunter Wild streams, maybe. I will have to set up a server where we can basically have people join in. That could probably be pretty cool. With that being said, let's see. I think we can raid someone today. Oh, you know what? I know who to raid. I know who we're going to raid today. We're going to go raid Jean. We're going to go raid Jean. We're going to say her hello since we met her at Oz Comic Con. We're going to go say hello to her, give her our best wishes. And in the meantime, I'm going to be back for my next stream. I'll tell you when. I'll just announce it in the server anytime. If you guys want to check out my channels, make sure you go follow me on YouTube, X, Kick, whichever. And if you would like to visit our Discord server, here is the link right here. Make sure you go click that, join my server, come and say hello. If you got anything you'd like to discuss, definitely do drop by. With that being said, thank you very much, everyone. I will see you all next time. Zelius, signing out.